Am I live? I guess I am live. I was just scrolling through Twitter, looking at all the madness, and I thought, man, I need to do some work. I need to get to work, man. This is ruining my brain. Spending time on, look at that, social media. It's very little substance and mostly a waste of time. So what I like to do is do something productive, and we will talk about that, or I will. You can talk about it in the comments. But by the way, for those of you who use SketchUp and you use a great extension called Medic Truss and Medic Wall and Medic Project, all these cool Medic uh, extensions for SketchUp, uh, there was a problem that I found actually when we went to SketchUp Pro 2023. There was a little glitch, and it was actually with SketchUp. So Nathaniel Wilkerson, who I've come to know pretty well, he's a really nice guy, super nice guy. He worked with them, lobbied them to come up with a fix, and they did, and so everything is fine and dandy. And what it was you would go to, like, say, the truss. You pick out a truss, and then there's one, and this is how easy it is. And right here, when you get to this point, it wouldn't let you select the second point. It wouldn't let you go to this window here. So it would get hung up, and you'd have to do the Alt Tab thing and all that. It turns out it was let's just say okay. So you get you a nice attic truss. And the cool thing about Nathaniel, or I call him Nathan, sorry, is his trusses are pretty close to. Every time I'm a design build contractor also, and I've been building for like 42 years now. 2024 will be 42 years. And I know I don't look that old, do I? Thank you. But he's an engineer, so these truss designs are always really close. Like this attic truss is a good example. You may see some little differences here and there. It looks like is the engineering part turned off? Anyway, you can have it even produce the gussets and all that, and so it's pretty awesome. Anyway, so that little glitch has been fixed, and I just thought I would mention that. What I'm working on is these church camp cabins, and it's funny. Let's see. Let me turn on this PM data. This is the actual site. It's pretty interesting. What layer is this again? That is location. So this extension I have, this other extension is called Placemaker, where you can go and upload or download the terrain data, and it gives you a two-dimensional like map view or a bird's eye view, and the three-dimensional data, the topographical data, and that's what's kind of cool, because you can place your building. And so you can kind of get an idea. You can put your building where you think it's going to go, and that's not going to work. So I can already tell I'm going to have to adjust my foundation, or we'll have to move them around on the site. Like maybe we turn it. I'm not going to start turning these around until I get them built, because all CAD programs have an axis that you work from, and if you start twisting your building, it's hard to draw when you're off the axis. So anyway, I'm going to turn that off because it annoys me while I'm drawing. So, long story short, this is a pretty tough site, as you can see, and this is the actual site. This is this is like the main administrative building and cafeteria, and like I said, this is a church camp. So kids go there in the summer, and here's a big soccer field or whatever they want to use it for, I guess. And there's some other little cabins down here, and they're thinking about replacing them. So you can't really see it, but there's some cabins around. This is the thing about this extension, is this is such a, if you can't, you can't eat your cake and have it too. People always say that backwards. People say you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, you can have your cake and eat it too. You just can't eat your cake and have it too. So remember that next time you start to use that phrase. You're saying it backwards. Anyway, in this particular extension, if I were to ask for a high resolution detail where I could see the leaves, I wouldn't probably be able to even work in this model. It would be really, because this is a huge site. This is acres and acres. So anyway, what am I here for? I'm here to work on this, and I thought I would just ramble about the state of humanity while I do it. Oh, the other thing is, where is this, where I had this pulled up? Here we go. So I did this quick version for him. He was having a meeting with his board, the board members of this church camp, and they needed something to look at. So I just whipped up these just as a rough idea, and I did this quick plan. And the first comment, Mitch had, the guy that, he's a developer guy I build houses for. He didn't like this break in the roof because and he's right. There's a maintenance issue. This is a heavily wooded area, and you'll get leaves trapped there. But usually the reason you see this is because, and I'll go back to the model. The reason you see that is because we like to keep a 7-foot clearance under the beam, under the porch beam, right? So what have I got? I've got 7 feet. So if the main part of the roof is low, and you can't, and it's down here, well then you have to, and you want a steeper pitch roof, so it'll come down and it'll break right there, and because your porch beam is fixed. You can't just keep lowering the porch beam to get what you want. So what he wanted was, I keep hearing my phone vibrate. What he wanted was just a straight roof line, which I think looks better anyway. Looks cooler, and it's easier to build. It's going to be a little more expensive to build in this case, but it's just I called the truss manufacturer, and it's going to cost like $10 or $15 more per truss to do this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's just take one of these trusses out of here. I've got this as this whole building is a component, and so when I get ready to start twisting this one around, and it'll be off axis, I'll just go ahead and show you. And I forgot I had done this, and so if I want to, I'm going to get over here on a flat spot where this is a blue axis. If I want to kind of, oops, how many degrees was that? Let's go 22.5. Yeah, if I want to turn this so that it's meeting the grade better, like that, and I want to pull it over here, and I want to sit it down. See how that's working better with the grade? Of course, that's too close, but you get what I'm saying. This one can remain on the axis. So if I turn the axis on, this one, the one I'm editing is on the model axis, so where when I draw lines, they'll be perpendicular and parallel to each other. See, but this one can be off axis and be in the model. But as I make corrections, since it's a component, it will update. And if you're wondering what this is a roof assembly that I haven't exploded. So I can go and edit this one. And this is one thing, maybe I'll show this right quick. This is one thing cool about Nathan's, the Medique truss extension, and all of his extensions. This whole assembly, let's say the owner is not happy with the roof pitch and they want it to be, 8/12. Well, you just go in here and, I've got scissor trusses, so I'll have an inner pitch and an outer pitch. I can just update that and see it'll pop up, which is something that would have taken me hours to do. And oh, there's two roofs here. That's funny. Somehow we got two. Anyway, this is a. Let's see. So we're not going to mess up our drawing and trying to demonstrate something. I'm going to delete that because I'm already happy with this. The thing about it is, the reason I have to explode it once I get it to where I like it is because oh, that one's editable too. Okay. Anyway, I'll eventually explode it because I'm going to ask the truss company if it's practical to do these porch extension rafters as a part of the truss. And what they do when they do that is they just make this part of the cord looks like I got the porch off a little bit, but they just make this part of the bottom of the top cord, they just usually make it a 2x6 and it'll extend out like that. But now what I've got to do, let's see, where is my, I need to turn on the roof cladding. Let's turn on the sheeting and the roof cladding. Yeah, there we go. I had put this, I need to go in here and fix some of this. So I made the mistake of, I know what happened now. I went in and almost forgot I had done this. I had made the overhangs bigger. So part of what I need to do is fix this roof. One thing I like to do, I like to put my own metal roofing on. And because this metal roofing is an image, it doesn't. You can see there's no actual vertical, But what you can do is come in here and delete it. That's the wrong thing. Let me get to where I can see it better. Okay, I've got a hold of it now. Yeah, I'm just going to delete this, and then I'll fix my roof. It's grayer. I don't know why I'm scrolling around like crazy. There we go, finally got to it. So I can pick all the ends of this at once and use this fascia over here as a reference and just pull it down. And it just needs to hang over about an inch like that. can't I get out of that? There we go. Now I want to grab this line and pull it down. This is the sheet metal part of the roof. Should have been able to reference that. There we go. And so yeah, I thought the cabin should have this is that end. What's wrong with my mouse? I just bought a new mouse. I'm gonna move that over a 1/4 of an inch too. What is that? Yeah, 1/4. Because if you don't, you'll be able to see it won't cover up the fascia. This is the drip edge, the rake eave, the rake trim, as metal roofers call it. And that would just go to, that part would just go to there, and then we need another rib in here, so we'll put that over here. Now this side of the roof is supposed to be fixing itself. Yeah, you see I mirrored this side of the roof, and this is where you can really use SketchUp to your advantage. You can make these components, right? So I made this side of the roof is a component, and I mirrored it over here. Okay, so as I fix this side fixes itself. Yeah, I make the computer work for me. Let's see if we have any comments. Not yet. No comments. Sorry, I had a mini wheat in my tooth. Okay, let's see. Alright, here we gotta fix this. Oh, I messed that up, didn't I? Oh, all I gotta do is bring this down. Let's just bring it down. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So I just gotta bring that down and put it right there. That's just the little piece of rake trim for this little porch extension here. And why do I have little tick marks? Oh, that looks like the looks like I duplicated the ends of those the ends of those ribs. Alright, so this end, let's see, what do we got going on here? Oh yeah, I'm gonna put this. One thing I have to do is run this fascia board on down too. I'm just gonna move this out here and go out an inch because I gotta put the fascia out there, which is 3/4 of an inch. I need to get rid of that line. I accidentally copied it. And I gotta get out of that and put this. That comes over to there. I need a new rib. These ribs are a part of the to get this 3D look. I use another extension called Valley Architects. It has a instant roof where you can add details to a roof plane, and so I just go in and add these ribs to a piece of sheet metal in there, and that gives you the illusion that you got a standing seam roof, and you get a shadow. You get shadows from it on an image, and you don't get that depth. So Do I have this floor plan referenced? Yeah. Okay. So let's look at the plan right quick. Check. Um, one thing about architecture is that this cabin was designed from the inside out, and we do what we call programming. And programming for architecture is basically where I ask the camp coordinator, the camp director, whatever his title is. They call him BC. I think his name's Brian. He said they needed 6 bunks. Okay, and I'll eventually turn this into a three dimensional. I'll put the bunks in there and all that. I already have most of it. I'll show you in a minute. But he said he needed 3 bunks, or 6, and the counselors actually stay in here. So that's 10 campers, darn campers, and 2 counselors. They have 2 counselors for every 10 campers. Okay. Then I asked him, what kind of space do you like to have walking around? Because there's a million different configurations here, right? And we kind of all agreed that this was enough space based on the existing cabins they had. The other thing they said they needed were, at least 2 toilets. They wanted to have restroom. They wanted to have a restroom for each cabin. When I was growing up and going to church camps, we had cabins that didn't have any plumbing in them because they were rural, and and usually this is because they were rural. Rural, I have a hard time saying that, and I live in a rural area out in the middle of the Tennessee woods. But they would have you'd have a hard time getting like septic tanks in on these mountainous areas. So they'd have one big bathhouse, for usually one for girls and one for boys, and you'd have to share just one big bathhouse. Well, what they want to do is this church has a little more financial resources. I just realized too I need to fix this floor plan, but so they're going to put some bath facilities in each cabin, which I think is kind of cool. It's obviously going to cost probably $20,000-$30,000 more, probably more than that, but should make it a more desirable place. I remember when I used to go to church camp when I was growing up, because I grew up in the church, in a Southern Baptist church. It was almost like Army boot camp. You had to go. It's something you had to do, and sorry, the pollen's out. But it was something you kind of had to do as a young Christian. It was one of your responsibilities to go to church camp, right? So you had to go, and it was like boot camp. All the adults thought, "Oh, it's so fun! You'll have so much fun." And you go, and it's like, a lot of work, and you had to stay in these old crappy. I would literally, and I used to do a lot of backpacking and camping. I literally would have rather stayed in a tent, because a tent is pitched kind of daily, and it's fresh and new. But these cabins are there permanently, so every black widow spider and snake and possum is living underneath and inside and in the attic, and you're constantly battling them. And so anyway, it's nice to have these. It'll be nice to have these upgraded cabins. But anyway, back to architecture. The point is, good architecture is starting from the inside, working your way out. It's not. I mean, obviously you have cathedrals, and you have these monumental buildings that were built for the purpose of a monument, right? Cathedrals were built for the purpose of having a grand monument to God, right? But when you're getting down to sort of a human scale, you want to think about how you live, the space you need. And this is what I have against going off on a rant here, a tangent, is shipping containers. Shipping containers are a fixed configuration made for shipping things. They were never really designed for human living, and you have to do, and my main argument is you have to do so much alteration and work around them. It's actually cheaper to not to just frame up your structure. And I have come to the conclusion that, like my tiny shack I built to live in while I'm building my bigger cabin, is 12 feet wide and 24 feet long. And for one person, that's the perfect dimensions. I mean, you can easily get two people. Two people could easily live in here. They would be annoyed with each other pretty quickly, but anyway. So 7 feet is just not a big enough space. I mean, if you're a tall enough person, by the time you finish out the inside of a shipping container, you can almost reach, we had a guy called Slim when I was in my 20s, and I was starting to be a contractor. I had a guy called Slim. He was like 6'8", and I always had him paint the ceilings because he didn't need a ladder. He'd just take a roller extension and paint the ceilings. He could reach 7 feet. His wingspan was right, so he could literally reach from one side to the other in a shipping container after you finished it out, after you framed it out and insulated it. Anyway, where was I? So we took that whole program. The other part of the program was that they're tired of maintenance with these showers. So the shower part of this is going to be concrete block. Okay, and this part, there really should be a line right here. If I can get in there, yeah. There should be a line right here that indicates this part. This is all concrete, and this is a floor drain. That was actually another requirement they had. And this is all going to be crawl space and wood flooring, hardwood flooring. So they're going to be really nice cabins. So from that, you see that floor plan, you always want to start out with a two-dimensional programmed floor plan. No matter how fancy your CAD is. You go back to work here. That wasn't what I really wanted to do, but we're there. What happened to the roof is turned off. I always freak myself out a little bit. Now, okay, so, I know what it is. I had this, you see, the schematic roof is still there. See, that's actually a good accident to have. It shows you the contrast here between my old schematic mode, which is this roof schema right here, and the new and fun. What is this? Yeah. Raised. Oh, I know what I was going to show you about these trusses. So I'm just trying to grab one truss. There we go. And pull it out here. This is what I was talking about earlier. Let me turn off that PM data because it's going to bog my drawing down. So this is what you can do, and remember this next time you're building a house. Trusses can have heel heights to them, okay? And the heel height is, let's draw this truss right quick using Medic's extension. Truss, this is what's cool. It's a scissor truss. So that means you get a vaulted ceiling, and we'll just make it whatever, wide and however long, and I'm just going to say okay. Okay, whatever. There we go. Now regular truss. Oh shoot! I used the old settings, these settings. So it remembers the last truss that you do. You go down here, and here is the heel height. Somewhere in here, let's see, heel height, 23 inches. I made it 23 inches, jacked it up high enough so that that continuous pitch would work with the porch and it have just a straight roof line. So where was that? If you say 0 and update this, heel height standard, heel height, okay. Um, oh, wait, the standard heel height would be about 4.5. Sorry. Yeah. Come on. There we go. All right, um, and really the scissor truss isn't a good example of this, but in any event, your bottom cord would come over, and here this is where it sits on the wall, and you would the heel height is this point right here. It's how tall your truss is from here to there. Okay, and a typical, is about 4.5, 5 inches, right? It's just where the top cord comes right over the bottom cord, and it's the minimum thickness that you need to do that with. What you can do is you can specify heel height to work with whatever you need it to do. And so if I delete that, and if I actually undo all this, because I forgot, did I copy that truss or did I move it when I fixed it? So let's turn off the cladding and the decking sheeting. It's funny because terminology is funny depending on what part of the world you're in, and this is why you shouldn't get upset about terminology. I hear people argue all the time about terminology when it's kind of silly. I call anything on a roof or any kind on a floor decking because it's kind of like the deck of a ship, right? And then I call it vertical, like wall sheathing. Okay, that's what artisans do. Okay, so if you want to be an artisan, stuff that's on a roof or on a floor is decking, and if it's vertical, it's sheathing, wall sheathing, roof decking. Okay, now when you get into floors, floor decking is the subfloor, but flooring is the finished floor. So this porch floor will have porch flooring. Okay. The reason we have different terminologies is because if I have my apprentice, I say go nail down that decking, that floor decking, he knows that it's the subfloor, not the porch flooring. So we have little descriptors here. Anyway, so you can see what I did was I raised up. Let's see if I can get to where, and I'm going to fix this soffit. That's part of what I'm doing. I had to raise this roof up, and there's some wood plates here that you can't see, so that I could get that continuous straight roof line because they didn't want to break in the roof line. So I think I'm ready. I had forgotten that I hadn't exploded this. Oh, I did explode it. Okay. If I had, let's see. No, I haven't exploded it yet. So I'm going to go ahead and explode it because I had changed the soffit to 2 feet. And the reason I need to explode it is because now I need to fix this soffit. And this is kind of the work. This is some work going on here. Let's see if we have any comments. No comments. Y'all, all you slackers are in bed, aren't you? Is that a group by itself? Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just put me a line here. I can't, can I? put me a line here. There we go. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kind of save that. What I'm going to do is put me a gap here. That's supposed to cut it out, but it doesn't. Because I'm going to move this fascia board down. Yeah, so I can go ahead and do that because it's good. I'm going to make it its own group. And then what I'm going to do is take this, and for now, and it should be good because I should just be able to put it right here. And that's weird, the roof pitch is a little off. So I'll fix that. But you know, we have different phases in construction. We're in the schematic design phase right now. So there's no reason to spend too much time doing too much detail work because all this could easily change. And I think I need to do this the same. No, this is different because I don't need this board anymore, so I can just get rid of it. I can just zap it. Okay, good, it disappeared. And then this one, can come back over. Just for the fun of it, I'll put it back there. And so you can see just that soffit won't be there. I think what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to get rid of that piece. I think we're actually going to have open, well, are we? I don't know if we're going to have open soffits or not. That's kind of a, again, that's a level of finish. But I think what I'm going to do is, for now, I'm just going to pull this down. Is that working? Oh, that's the wrong pitch though. How did that happen? How did that happen? Oh, I see what's going on here. That line is... Oh, I see what's going on. I gotta pull it down. I can't. That means I gotta do this and this. Right, that should work. Oh man. Sometimes if you don't get that connected there and there, alright. And I'm probably worried about too much detail right now, but or getting into the weeds a little too much. But so I'm not going to get too crazy with this. I just want my renderings to look kind of realistic. So best way to do this is put yourself a reference line right here, and then it'll follow. It'll kind of follow that. Well, if you get it locked, if you push the shift key, it'll lock it on that axis, and then you can just butt it into that fascia. And then the push pull tool should work now. The best practice is not to try to select that face now. So here, what I can do is just bring this one back up to here. And this should cooperate, yeah. Let's see, is it going to cooperate? Did it cooperate? Yeah, it cooperated. There we go. The bad news is, yeah, the bad news is I'm going to have to, uh-oh. Poopy doo, poopy doo, poopy doo doo, poopy doo 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 doo. The life of a design build contractor. Poopy doo doo. So now I'm going to have to draw a line from here. Just going to work. Let's do it on top. I want to say on the face, on edge, outside, active. I want to say on the face. Is that right? We're going to find out. Yes. Should be able to use this. Yeah, to cancel it out. There we go. Maybe the life of a design build contractor is not so bad after all. Now I got this line I got to deal with. So what I'll do is I'll pull I think right for now I'm just going to hide this. I know what you're thinking, that's cheating. Yes, I gotta get some work done, man. I ain't got time to mess with these little intricacies. I gotta get this where I can do a rendering, man. Let's see if I got any comments. Nope. So, I also want to make this window taller. Or at least put it higher off the floor. I don't know, this is bugging me, so I'm probably going to go back. I need to do this, because I got to copy this. Let's turn off the roof framing. Let's turn off roof trusses. And I know what we can do. We can go up here. It should be at least 1.5. It's going to be a little more than that because it's at an angle, but that should fix that. Yeah, good enough for now. I don't know what this is. What's going on here? think we can fix this by take your cursor and I bet if I delete this line, it's going to go away. That's what I thought, so I have to leave it there. I'll hide that one. This is not perfect, but the thing is, what usually happens to me on these things is I'll spend like days drawing schematic designs, and then they change like 10 seconds after somebody looks at it. They go, oh, how about if we made the roof pitch a 10-12? How about that? So, but that's why I do it, this schematic roof. And really, if I was smart, that's what I would do. I would take this, what is that, roof scheme, and I would move it out here. Well, I'd move the whole thing, and I would create a component out of it, and I would edit it, because it would take like a third of the time, quarter of the time. But I get so involved, since I build things too, I hate drawing things that aren't real. So what I do is I draw the actual stuff, and that's where, and a little bit of where Medic's extensions kind of, they help you, but they also put you in this mode where the siding's going up too high. They put you in this mode where you're really kind of doing things too early, like it's a little too early in the process to be being this technical. This other thing I don't like are these layers turned on. Oh, that's the wall. That's the wall. Here we go, wall dim. This wall dim layers are those little tags you see. They kind of annoy me. Now this is the situation here where they wanted the showers to be blocked. So you get this kind of odd. Let's turn off the roof for a second. You get this kind of odd thing where, on the exterior, you're going to have this a little bit of an odd situation, but you could say it enters character too. But they wanted the showers to be basically just concrete block, and we'll seal them. And obviously none of that's ever going to rot. And this part of the floor will be concrete. This part will be wood. Oh look, I've already got some bunks, but these are not the right bunks. When I realized they weren't the right ones, I stopped putting them in here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to delete them. But eventually I'll get all that in there, and then on the floor plan it should be right there. So that'll be, and the windows have to fix the windows because I altered this, and then this wall has to be moved over. And this is another cool thing. You see how Medic's walls are actually accurate on the framing side, so I can just pull this over. Let's see, that would be, should be a, oops, what happened there? Alrighty, what happened there? Don't ask me what key I just hit. Let's do this. What keyboard item I just hit? Okay, okay. But I feel like it was just like one of those delete everything moments. It was kind of scary, to be honest with you. What I was trying to do is demonstrate how turn the floor plan back on. And this is why it's good to have a two-dimensional floor plan. So what I was trying to do is get this wall in the right spot, so it would be right here, and then I would back it up a ½ inch. There we go. So I just got the drywall. Now what's cool about Medic's extension is I can just regenerate this wall, and it'll fix the frame. It'll fix the framing in the wall, which is pretty cool. So you can see I had I undid all that because I redid what I undid because I was afraid I had deleted something. But anyway, there's the new layout in the windows. If I turn off the wall, you see that I need to move the windows. So I got to work a little bit of work ahead of me today. But since there's not many people commenting, I think I'll probably, because I've been drawing on this thing since 5:30 this morning. And let's turn off this. So let's turn the roof back on. So eventually, I think what I want to do is save this as the work. I forget to update it. But eventually what I'll have is an updated elevation with the straight roof line. I got to fix the fascia boards and all that. And let's turn off the floor plan because it needs to be corrected. And one thing I can show you right quick before I sign off. I'll show you this there's the middle of that. I'll show you this handrail extension that I have. What is this, 5.5? Yeah, so that's 2 3/4, 2.75. What you can do is draw a line. If you just want to do a quick one, you can draw it all the way through the posts. Well, let's not be lazy. Let's see. Should it be the same space? We'll see if it is. Yeah, it should be. I think I have to group those. Oops. Thought I copied it. I don't use this extension often, so I may have to .75. So I think you can just group those lines, those edges, make a group, and then you can go into Valley Architects. Now, as a disclaimer, both Chuck Valley, who's the architect who developed this extension, and Nathaniel Wilkerson, who developed the Medic extension, allow me to have these licenses in return for making videos. But I mean, these are awesome tools and I use them all the time. I use this particular one a little less often than the handrail one. It's actually called make fence or railing. And your model has many components, okay? So what you do is you can go in and pick out a style here. Let's just do a simple, oh, what are we gonna do? Let's not get too worried about this. Let's just do a simple a simple style, and you can just exit out of that. You can go into the parameters here, but without spending too much time on that, we'll just leave all the parameters the same. Okay, draw edge or curve a series of connected edges. Create a group containing edges or curve. Select this group. And that's what I did. So I think what I have to do is if they're not connected, I think I have to make them polylines. But I'm not. Oh man, I can't. Let's see. I can't. Let's delete that. I'm trying to select it. Sometimes. Okay, there we go. Let's move it out here for a minute. We're going to move it out here 20 feet so we can work on it. Yeah, what I have to do is I think I have to make a polyline. Instant fence, make polyline. Okay, yeah, okay, so I made those polylines. Now I'm going to select them. Now I'm going to go into Valley Architects, fence and railing, fence or railing. And since I've already picked it, I don't think I have to pick it again. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. And we're just going to say make fence. Darn it. Why does this happen to me while I'm in a live stream? Draw an edge, draw a edge, curve, or series of connected edges. Create a group containing the edge. Select the group. When I've had this trouble in the past, what I've had to do is connect them, but it's kind of a pain because let's see, we'll just make our I'm gonna weld all these edges together. You know what I should have done was let's see if that'll work. And this is what I was saying, I haven't used this in a while, so there we go. Okay, there we go. Now, it would have helped if I had, yeah, I think what I've done is I've confused it now, so I'm going to delete. Let's just I've made this more complicated than it is, and so I think what I have to do is I have to connect these. I should be able to weld these edges together. I've got one line, I've got a group, and let's go to Valley Architects, fence railing, make fence, and what did I do? Did I change? I'm not going to let it get by with this. I think what I need to do is go back and just draw a line. I'm going to go back to where I have my Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to get rid of these. What's funny about this is all this, you're thinking, well, this is a lot of trouble. Well, trust me, if you've ever drawn handrails before, and you realize how much trouble, how much pain it is, and once you get this set up properly, you can change it easily. It's parametric, basically. Oops. I'll make a group. I'm going to I keep selecting the line, delete the guidelines, we'll select the group. I'm going to move it out here so I can select it easier. Okay. You want to move it out a certain distance, 20 feet, so you can move it back. I'm going here, I'm going to weld these edges together, because I think that's what you have to do. Alright, now I'm going to, see if that doesn't work, I'll make it a, I need to actually get him to train me how to do this easier. Here we go. There we go. So if it was a user error. Now, one thing I need to do is go back and change it to put mid post. And see, that's the thing about this is now I can just go in, and once I have my basic thing set up properly, I can go into my parameters, and I can say on the posts, post. Here we go. Maximum spacing should be 42 inches. So is that feet? I said, can you put inches in? 42 inches. And let's make fence. There we go. See how much easier? Now that would have taken me a long time. So now if I move this back and oops, I gotta make the whole thing a group. Move this back 20 feet. Not sure how it got down there. Now the posts are not, what I would do then is I would probably, I'm not going to worry about this right now, I'll fix it. I just wanted to kind of show you how you can use the extension. I'll go in and I'll fix those spacings. So there's like one there, one there, one there. And that's the reason I wanted to do it in separate segments. If I wanted to spend the time, I could just draw one segment and then copy it, and it would be, that's probably what I'll do. What I'm trying to do is get enough of a handrail on here just to be able to do a little rendering for them. Let's see if there's any comments. Nope. I think what I'm going to do is end it here, take a little coffee break, and then I'll go back to it. I'll fix these. What I'll do is I'll fix these post spacing and all that, and probably take me all day to probably get this right. I need to fill in this siding here. I haven't decided whether it's worth trying to fur out this block and all that and bring the siding over to there, or just leave it. I kind of like the corner being masonry, but in any event, for now we're going to take a break, and something happened with my posts. I must have moved them whenever I, look, I thought they were grouped together. Alright, well, that is enough for now. I just wanted to kind of introduce this little project, and I'll do a follow-up, because after I get one of these cabins done, then I've got to go and put it on this three-dimensional map topo location and kind of copy them around. I gotta draw a little road around here, and once I get that, I'll have to do some renderings of them kind of built around in a semicircle. So yeah, I got a whole day ahead of me here, and I know most people aren't going to watch 8 hours of this stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.